Elon Musk tells us that the dollar will be worth nothing. So, in today's video, we're going to break that down. We are truly on an unsustainable path. Our debt in America is at 34 trillion. The Treasury Secretary doesn't even know where our debt's at. She has to fumble through papers in front of the House committee when asked where our debt's at. We're on a path right now that is going to radically transform America's financial system, and it's going to wipe out the middle class and move them down to the working poor. The great news is during these times, it's the greatest time in human history to shift your family's wealth timeline. My name is Coach JB. I work to make very complex macro and microeconomic strategies very simple so the normal everyday person can implement them. I have amazing free resources for you. Number one, people always ask me about insuring my wealth. I pull from the top side, cryptocurrency profits, high risk, high return. I pull it down to tier one capital, and I personally insure my family and my wealth. I'm a licensed insurance agent. I have licensed insurance agents all 50 states and in Canada to help you with a free consultation to understand how we do that. Click the description of this video down below, click the free consultation, and we'll get you going. Another thing completely separate from my insurance company is the 3T Warrior Academy. I wrote a free book. It's a free PDF. It'll be in your inbox within 15 minutes. What I talk about on the back end of every video. It shows you the 5 pillars of wealth and how I built out my ecosystem. That's a free book down below, ready for you in 15 minutes right in your inbox. All right, let's dive right into this. So it's in the description of this video, or click my social media link in the bio, whatever it's called, and you'll be ready to rock and roll. So let's dive into this. Okay. All right, this is getting fun, getting interesting. I've been trying to warn the public since 2020. Most people aren't listening, but hey, you can lead a horse to water. You can't make them drink. But when the water dries up, they're going to be looking for something to drink, if you know what I mean. The dollar will be worth nothing. Elon Musk issues a stark Fed warning as stealth money printing grinds Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP price higher. Okay, so here's a narrative that we're going to put together. Now, we all don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but we can look at the actual numbers. They printed more money than in history. We're buried in debt in America. We're in a high interest rate. It's really not high interest rates, but higher interest rates than we're used to in America. The normal everyday American cannot afford to live anymore because of inflation. They told us they were going to lower rates 3 times in 2023, which got baked into the markets, and they have not lowered rates once. And now people are saying they might not even lower rates. If they don't lower rates, guys, well, even if they do lower rates, if they lower rates, the houses are going to be completely unaffordable. If they keep rates the same and inflation stays the same, you can't afford a house anyways. So you're effed either way. So we have to pay attention to these narratives and what people are saying. Okay. So this is what Elon posted right here. This is off of a post right here. It was Mario Dalfall. It says World War III is coming. Double our defense spending now. He says we need to do something about our national debt or the dollar will be worth nothing. Now, why is that? Okay. And then you have Peter Schiff posting right here. Unfortunately, it is now too late to do something about it. The debt without a lot of short-term pain, which is why nothing will be done about it until there is a dollar and sovereign debt crisis. So it's almost like there has to be a debt crisis, right? So that goes into all these theories and, everybody's predicting like they know what's going on. We're all just looking at history to predict the future. That's the best way to do it. I'm a YouTuber. I don't have the insight on what's going on. I'm not fighting some invisible enemy, but I can look back at history and see that in these types of times, when we go to war, there's a reason why we go to war, guys. When the debt is horrible, the job markets are horrible, and inflation is through the roof and they can't control the monetary system, we go to war. Why? Because war creates money and jobs, unfortunately. Okay. So this is Jerome Powell right here talking about the rates, and we'll listen to the first couple minutes of this, and then we'll go into what Kevin O'Leary said, and then I'll remind you why Larry Fink is heading into Bitcoin.
Good afternoon. My colleagues and I remain squarely focused on our dual mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. The economy has made considerable progress toward our dual mandate objectives. Inflation has eased substantially over the past year, while the labor market has remained strong. And that's very good news. But inflation is still too high. Further progress in bringing it down is not assured, and the path forward is uncertain. We are fully committed to returning inflation to our 2% goal. Restoring price stability is essential to achieve a sustainably strong labor market that benefits all. Today, the FOMC decided to leave our policy interest rate unchanged.
There you go.
And to continue to reduce our securities holdings, though at a slower pace. A restrictive stance of monetary policy has been putting downward pressure on economic activity.
Okay, so that's all boring stuff. That's all we wanted to hear. They're not lowering interest rates, guys. Inflation is not going down. It's sticky. The prices are going to stay the same or go higher. This is Kevin O'Leary right here talking about this is a reality. This is where we're at, guys. This is the reality of our market. This is what's going to look like. But this is really favorable, in my opinion, for cryptocurrency. But you got to be very careful, guys. First they resist it, then they sue it, then they regulate it, then they join it. We're now in regulation phase and joining phase. It's going to get really, really sticky.
Joining us now, the chairman of O'Leary Ventures. He's Kevin O'Leary. Okay, first this, Kevin, we need you, that big brain of yours. Okay, stocks are getting hit because of, ahead of big tech earnings, but also no one knows what the Federal Reserve is going to do tomorrow, Kevin, whether the Fed's going to raise or cut interest rates because inflation is heating up again. What do you think the Fed does?
They're not going to cut rates. I don't think they'll cut rates again this year. I think people should get used to the idea they'll stay where they are longer. The fact is, and it's very easy to think about this from this perspective, the Fed's mandate is 2% inflation, not 2.5, not 3, not 3.2, it's 2. And so inflation is not going down anywhere near 2 for a bunch of reasons. And therefore, they will not cut rates. And anybody who thinks they're going to cut this year will be mistaken. And they keep pushing out their optimism month after month, but there'll be no rate cuts this year. I'm investing under the premise that we're going to be living with this rate cycle staying the same for the rest of the year. I'm sorry, it's just reality.
Yeah, so, what's going on? It seems like, Bidenomics has been hyperinflationary, and it's turning into a triple whammy of higher inflation, higher rates, and now Biden wants higher taxes. That's going to hammer working and middle-class families. JP Morgan, listen to CEO Jamie Dimon saying they're not getting lifted up by Bidenomics. Let's get your reaction to this.
Other things will remain to be seen. So I think some of the American public looks at it like, what are they getting? So if you go to rural America or inner cities, I'm not sure they feel like they're being lifted up by this economy.
Nope. It's getting ugly, guys. It's getting nasty. I've been really, really trying to, warn the public of what's happening, guys. Everything I've said has come true. Like everything I said, but it's not that I'm predicting the future. I'm studying history, guys. You can say all day that shit's not happening. Where are we going to get money from, guys? Like, where are we going to get money from? They print it, and the more they print, the more it devalues the dollar. So if they start printing again, it's going to devalue everything. If they start printing, they lower interest rates, it's going to cause hyperinflation. So the only way to fix this is to F the middle class, to raise taxes. Do you think the Great Depression was ugly? This could be nasty, guys. But they're set. Their bags are packed. Why do you think Larry Fink is doing this? Why do you think they're moving to a flight to safety?
View about it, which is Bitcoin, the Bitcoin ETF. We're going to be talking to Gary Gensler, the chair of the SEC, who made that decision reluctantly, maybe even begrudgingly, which was announced just 2 days ago, and we talked a lot about yesterday on the broadcast. How big a deal is that for BlackRock? And this was for you a big switch as well, because you were a naysayer for a very, very long time.
Yeah, I probably switched. For the first 3 years of thinking about it, I was a naysayer, and about 2 years ago, I switched. And I'm actually, as I said in the last 2 years, I'm a big believer.
Are you a believer personally? Meaning, is the Fink family a Bitcoin buyer or a buyer of this new ETF?
Well, now I could do that. I cannot, I don't want to compete with our clients, so I don't buy single assets. I'll buy mutual funds. I'll buy single ETFs. So I have an opportunity to do that now. But I'm a believer in it because I do believe it is an alternative source for wealth holding. I don't believe it's ever going to be a currency. I believe it's an asset class.
You don't believe it ever becomes a currency?
No, I think we are going to create digital currencies. We're going to use the technology for it. We're going to use the blockchain.
I just want you to just sit on that part. All of a sudden, he just admitted it. He told you guys. He said, I went from not believing in it to believing in it. It's a storage of wealth now, guys. Like, why do you think they're going into Bitcoin? Why do you think the largest asset manager in the world, Larry Fink, in 2008 was tapped, BlackRock, by the Federal Reserve to balance out the markets? BlackRock was tapped in 2020 to balance out the markets by the Federal Reserve. You don't think there's conversations going on behind the scenes? If you go to the CFTC website, Bitcoin is seen as a commodity. He just told you it's a commodity. It's not a currency. XRP, XLM, all these other ones will be currencies. Here's what I believe is going to happen. You're going to see fundamental crypto survive this, and the rest are going to get wrecked with regulation. Absolutely wrecked. That's why I'm not married to crypto. I have a very fundamental exit plan, a very fundamental strategy, and a diversification strategy outside of crypto. Okay, so first thing, 30 days for free. You can download Merlin. We're really sounding the alarm. We got 5 months left to the bull run. You can set up your exit plan. We designed this so people don't get wrecked in crypto. It's an interface. You can actually set up an exit plan so that you exit and pull profits. Because I'll tell you what, family, remember, when it's going parabolic, which means straight up, the exchanges are getting liquidated and all of a sudden they have technical issues. But if you're exiting on the way up and you get caught at the top and all the exchanges shut down, guess what? You've already pulled profits 1 to 2, maybe 3 times. What's more important is what do you do with that profit? If you do want to download Merlin, it's 30 days for free. Click the description of this video or in my social media platform. You can download it 30 days for free. And if the relationship doesn't work, right on the app, you can cancel. You won't regret it. Okay. So what I do is I pull from the left side of the risk pyramid, high profit, high return. I talk about this on every video because I'm going to repeatedly say this because 2 years from now, it will be a very favorable thing for me. I'm pulling profits, high risk, high return. I'm telling you exactly what I do. I pull it down the risk pyramid. I insure my wealth. I use Index Universal Life. Works really well for me in my strategy. Okay. You can use whole life. You can use, there's many different options when it comes to insurance. Okay. But I use personally Index Universal Life. I love Index Universal Life. I love my principal being guaranteed. I love the fact that I can get market-like returns. It's a long-term strategy for me. Remember, it's not a retirement policy. Don't let people sell it that way. It is a insurance policy that has living benefits, right? I have living benefits with it. I can borrow against the cash value if I choose to, but it's a long-term strategy for me, okay? So I like to secure my wealth. Warren Buffett, rule number 1, don't lose money. Rule number 2, follow rule number 1. From there, I look at the landscape. I'm going to take other profits and I'm going to invest in more companies that create cash flow. Once I create cash flow, I go back into these speculative assets. I pull profit and I pull it back down the risk pyramid. I'm going to buy more real estate. We're going to continue to expand our breadth in real estate. We want to help you guys. This is what it's all about, is us banding together. There is no enemy. There's nobody to fight, guys. Everything we're fighting against was created for us to fight, to get us to not focus on what matters, which is faith, which is family, which is getting our shit together in the craziest economic times in the world. But you have to develop financial literacy, family. You have to develop financial literacy. That's extremely, extremely important. Financial literacy, financial discipline. You need to know how to earn, then you need to learn how to protect that wealth. Okay, so just key factors out there. I love you guys. So everything you need in the description of the video down below. You got the free book. You can set up a free consult with my insurance team. Very clear. My insurance is totally separate from the 3-2 Warrior Academy. We got our book. You can join our academy 7 days for free. You can check out the academy. So many different things you can do to join my 4-week webinar series. There's so many resources for you to get in our tribe, to get in the vibe so we can all rise together. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. As we always say, warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go.